Okay, back with another little production video. My apologies. I'm going to try to rush. This will be like take 4, and I'm going to try to make this as fast as possible. Try to do it all in one take because I'm kind of lazy, and I don't think YouTube videos need to be that fancy. I don't think they need to be that produced. But anyways, so we're just going to quickly go over what's in the box, what the things are, how you can hook it up, how you can use this thing. Take a look at the software, take a look at how it looks inside the house, and then I've got some video that I'm going to show you. I'm basically going to do a screen. We're going to use this camera to look at the other camera's video outputs and just show you how it can look outside. I've been under the weather for many weeks now. Not going to get into that, but you'd think I'd have plenty of time to mess with this, but it's been snowy and cold, and I've kind of really been stuck inside due to some health complications. But so anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm just going to show the back of the box real quick, because here they're saying infrared. Here they're saying infrared, whatever. I did not expect this nice carrying case. A lot of the YouTube videos I had seen did not include this, and yeah, I've got trash. I got 5,000 projects always going on, and this is just one of them. We're just going to jam it on through. So here's the case. It seems like it's fairly nice, fairly sturdy. Got the zipper over here. We're going to go ahead and unzip this. I cheated. I'm getting tired of doing this, so I didn't put it all back in here. This handle belongs in there, but it won't fit. It won't fit with it all screwed. And this takes forever to screw and unscrew, and this takes forever to unscrew and screw, especially this one. This is where you put your phone. And I will take this off. This is it does not come with a tripod. That was just something I added to the mix. This is nice. You don't have to use this, but this is nice. You put your phone here, you put your little camera here, you run a wire over, you open up the application, and you're good to go. So this would normally sit right here. As I said, I don't feel like messing with putting it back. This is the camera. This little guy. This little case has the actual camera. This is the thing I like about it. You can just take your phone and this thing, stick it in your pocket, and go hit the trails. I will probably do that. And it works just fine. Now it's a little harder to hold on to, and it feels a little floppy, and I'd be afraid to drop it. You're going to break something, break the phone or break the camera. Also, most phones have cases. Most cases don't have the clearance around this USB-C port. Okay, so but you strip it out of your case. My phone is all busted up. I don't care. I do care, actually. But I love this phone still, even with the glass all cracked. The front and the back's all cracked up. And so we take the camera out. They call this the Android version because it has USB-C. I heard that iPhone's going to be using USB-C. I think Europe might have made them switch if they want to sell in their market over there. But so here's your dust cap. Okay, and then this will just click on right here, and there you go. They got your thermal camera ready to go, and you could walk around your house. You could work on electronics. You could walk out in the field. You could whatever you want to do. There's all kinds of cool stuff you could do. I'll give you a snapshot or a real quick sneak peek. And I've got this phone in airplane mode this time, so I won't be showing my friends' phone numbers and texts while trying to shoot this for the 4th or 5th time. So here we are, and you're not going to get a real good demonstration here at the moment. I'll take the cap off, and there we are. So you can see the heat. Pardon me. We're going to do better. I will show better than this, but I just want to give you a snapshot. That's the microwave. Okay, so take this off, set this off to the side. I'm going to go ahead and put the phone back in the case. I'm going to go ahead and assemble this. This is your typical, I don't know what size bolt hole that is, but it's pretty common for tripods and whatnot. So I'm just going to go ahead and screw this on, this plate, and then snap this into position. And there's going to be adjustments. I'm rushing through this because I'm a little aggravated. It shouldn't take me 5 takes to make this video. Then your phone's going to go here. And then your camera's going to go here. Let me turn some more light on so you can see a little better. See, it just has this little spot right there where you can put this guy in. And this feels so much better. This entire assembly, the clamps and all this sort of thing, the top half of this is all metal. The bottom, this is plastic. It's the handle down here is plastic. I was talking about the adjustment. This should not be turned, and I could flip something around down here. I'm just being lazy. It should not be turned like this. So, and then this tripod can extend the legs, so you can go sit in the woods somewhere, sit in a prairie, field, whatever, camping, whatever kind of cool things you can come up with. Now we've got a few more things in the box. Not a whole lot, but a few. We've got this little box. Again, this is metal, and you would use this to put this on your rifle. I'm assuming firearms, air rifles, crossbows. This will, you do some disassembly, take this plate off. Again, this will work. This will go in a tripod as well, so that's kind of cool. If you just want to leave your camera in this, that would be, and you can mount this on your tripod. That would be kind of sweet too. Or you take this apart, and you'll see that you got your Picatinny grooves here for your weapons. You'll take this back plate off and slide the camera in, and the lens will actually pop out the front a little bit. Okay, and part of this assembly for the phone, you can unbolt it from all of that and bolt it to the back of this, and then it lets you put the clamp for the phone would sit like right here. So, and then all of that assembly would sit on your weapon. And it has crosshairs in the app, and you could zero the crosshairs. So that looked pretty sweet. I was watching a guy, he was shooting pellets, and the pellets were passing through pests, rats, mice, whatever, and hitting like iron beams behind them, because they're like in the barn, like on farms or whatever, or even wood, and it was leaving a hot spot where the pellet was making impact. I thought that was kind of neat. But so anyways, again, trying to get back on point and get this video over as quickly as possible. We're already 8 minutes in. As far as other things in the bag, here is USB-C extension. So this will go to your camera, this will go to your phone. I'll go ahead and demonstrate that real quick. I plan on getting a much longer cable. In fact, I've already ordered it, and then do some much cooler things so I can get the camera farther away from the phone. And we plug this in here, and ta-da, now you're ready to go. There's your assembly, all ready to do your thing. Okay, so continuing with what else is in the bag. Really nothing else of significance. We do have a micro USB to USB, micro USB A male to C female. So why would you need this? Well, maybe you have an older phone and it uses micro USB. I'd be wary of that. If it's still using micro USB, it's probably an older one. And if it's an older one, it's probably a slower one. If it's going to be a slower one, it may not be able to handle, pardon me, what the app needs to do with the data coming from the camera. I could be wrong, but I've seen a few videos on YouTube where people were showing this camera and it was stuttering and slow and laggy. And that was my only theory, is that the phone didn't have enough resources. Didn't have enough RAM, didn't have enough CPU, so on and so forth. Because on mine, it's buttery smooth. I'll show you guys. I do have some decent looking video I can show you. So anyways, that's that. It does come with this nice strap. Probably won't use it. It could be plastic, but it's not. It's metal. At least these pieces here. They definitely could have cheaped out, but they didn't. I mean, it's not super high dollar, but it's not as cheap as I've seen. More hardware. This might be important for like nerds like me. So I'm going to go ahead and dig in here and pull this out. This is a USB extension 180. So we got the male to the female. And my understanding is that you will use that with this somehow. I don't know if I believe that, but whatever. I haven't fully flipped through the instructions. Maybe they cover this. They probably don't. What else is in the bag? Or the box, case, whatever. Here's what they're calling the manual. This seems to cover very generic stuff. It is very handy that you can switch through these, because it helps your mind interpret the information that's being presented to it. Okay. I don't know, it's kind of hard to, I haven't been able to put this completely together, but I've been on all kinds of medications, but it does help to switch between these modes. I don't know, sometimes it feels like you're looking at an animal laying in the snow, but you're not. So that's where it comes in handy. I kind of think these are the two main modes, but in my opinion, but I don't know. So there's that. You get this little card thanking you for the purchase, and then 2 stickers, a small one and a big one. So that's that. That's for the contents of the bag. I'm gonna shove it all back in here real quick, get it out of the way. Then we're gonna go over the software. The software is not perfect, but the software can be fixed. Software can be updated, and it works good enough. There's a few little things that I think are silly. So I'm going to go ahead and I guess I'll just do it like this. Maybe. I'm just going to use one device to point at the other. I'm going to turn this light off. And I'm going to turn off some of these other lights so you'll be able to see better. So we're going to go ahead and launch the software. Make sure my lens cap is off. And it's going to ask permission to connect to the camera. We're going to go ahead and tell it yes. And you're not going to see anything. We're just facing a curtain. I mean, it is seeing temperature deltas there, temperature differentials. But so you've got what they're calling HD, which bumps the resolution up. You've got pictures, videos, and when you touch it, it just starts recording. Okay? Let's see here. Let me back off a little bit. And we've got your gallery. That's with the mountains down here. And then you got your settings. As far as your settings go, here they are. Honestly, I don't completely understand all of them. Login, no thanks. I am grateful that they don't force it. Some companies, especially American companies, would force a login and force you to sign in and force you this and force you to that. And then if you go to sell the device to someone else, they may not even be able to use it without your password and credentials and so on and so forth. So I'm glad that they aren't forcing that. It's just right there. Celsius and Fahrenheit. I can tell you, I always have it set to Fahrenheit, but and it's always set to Fahrenheit, but it doesn't always display Fahrenheit. So when that happens, I have to change it to Celsius, then Fahrenheit, and then it actually will display the Fahrenheit. The correction, I'm assuming that that's some sort of calibration for the temperature it's going to display on screen. I don't know the distance. The rotate 180, those are kind of obvious. You're going to be rotating that camera information on the screen. Let's say you want to mount it the other way. You want to mount it, any way you want to mount it. Maybe you're holding the phone in a non-typical fashion. Or maybe there is no such thing as a holding the phone in non-typical fashion. That's how you rotate things so everything's oriented correctly. Mirror, I think that's kind of self-explanatory. Logo, there's the logo on. Here's with it off. Infrared, okay. HD mode, HD plus. I honestly don't know for sure what that is. It's just bumping around the resolution somehow. System camera, you can make it overlay your the camera built into the phone, and I could see uses for that. But as of right now, my plug is in the way, so I'm gonna have to reassemble some of this stuff and then play with the settings to orient the camera correctly, because the plug's kind of in the way. And that would be handy like during the day when you want to know what you're looking at. But I'll tell you what, this camera doesn't need a whole lot. I've seen some thermal cameras where you didn't know what you were looking at, and it was really hard to make it what you're looking at. This is really easy. You'll see. I'll show you. Back to the settings. Auto shutter. I think it needs to recalibrate every so often, and you'll hear it click. I don't understand it, but the camera will click, and I think it's everything about the temperature, everything about the image it's creating is based on temperature differentials, and those differentials change as you're moving it around. What might be a hot spot in this frame may not be 3 feet to the right. So I don't know position. The weather doesn't do anything. It just puts a little blank Celsius symbol down here. I'll go ahead and do position. Position's probably GPS. Time, compass, speed. I don't know speed of what. I don't know. Picture in picture. I've done the picture in picture. It seems to show whatever's in the center of the screen gets its own little special window, and it doesn't even seem to be doing it. I'm going to turn the camera, the system camera, off, and then see if we can see the picture in picture. I don't even think it's doing anything now. And I know that's incredibly frustrating to know what we're looking at because I'm not showing you a whole lot. And I'll try to focus the camera a little bit, and that's a curtain. So maybe you could see a little bit. In fact, I'll just go ahead and put it on an object that you might be able to make better sense of. Let's see here. I've got, yeah, there's a lamp. That's the only light on in the house. And that's a backup kind of emergency lamp that's hooked into my solar, my PV system batteries. So I always have light. That light never gets shut off. So I'm going to go ahead and make it focused. And keep in mind, you're looking at a picture of a picture. So this camera is looking at that camera's output. So, I mean, as you can see, it looks, in my opinion, it looks really, really good. Okay. Going back over some of these other settings. Screen recording, I've been using that, and it actually will record the entire screen. So when you hit record in the app, it's not just going to film what the camera sees, it's recording the entire screen. So if you get a text message from a friend, it records that too. And in fact, I decided I don't like that. We're just going to go ahead and turn that off for now. Language setting, that's a little self-explanatory. About, kind of the same thing. About's just date, time, version, that sort of thing. We come over here. This is where we change. I don't know, you might call this a palette. And this is where you can kind of go through and play with some of this stuff here. This would be iron hot, I think is what they call that, black hot. And let me see if I can't focus that a little bit better. I think that's as good as that's going to get. White hot. So as you can see, there's benefits. And I don't know, iron hot, orange hot. And then this might be called rainbow or something. So, and then we're going to go ahead and hit this button. And I don't quite know exactly what's going on, but it has presets. And I kind of like them. Well, I like this one anyways, because it dims the screen. So if you're sitting somewhere and you don't want your phone lighting up your face in the dark or something, that's what this would look like. But yeah, you could see I have a crock pot, there's a fire extinguisher, a roll of paper towel, an ice cube box up there on top of the refrigerator. Here is where you can use this as a thermal sight. And you can unlock this and move it around. And then you can tap and you can zero it ever so slightly, like so. And you can zoom it. Where'd my zoom go? I don't know, for some reason it's not clicking. It could be my fingers are acting up. I don't know for sure. There we are. You can pinch to zoom as well. And we'll just zoom in on the lamp a little bit. How far can I zoom? The tripod that I'm using is a piece of junk. I don't know. So that's that. And it looks like I also bumped it into full screen. Okay. That's the reset button. Oh, no. That's showing hotspot. Okay. So that's showing our hotspot. That's kind of handy. I've been wrong about that. So we turn that on, that'll show you your hotspot. We come over here and it will show temperature. And that is super handy, in my opinion. You'll see that it's in Celsius. So it's showing the blue is the cold, the hot is the red, the hottest spot. And then where we're pointed in the center, that is... well, I guess the center temperature. So to get Fahrenheit, I wish we used Celsius, but we don't. I come back up here, switch it to Fahrenheit or Celsius, back to Fahrenheit. There, now it's happy. And as we move it around, the hot spot and the cold spot is going to move around. And you're going to see, that's my back door. You're going to see different things going on with temperatures, whatnot. That's an old door. So, and you could see the wall's cold. I'm losing energy up there in that corner. You can see it's up there in the corner at 61 degrees. And this side of the house always faces the wind. Okay, it looks like we're at 25 minutes. I need to get cracking with this. So, let's see, what is this? Okay, and then this is the shutter reset button. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video. That way I can find something that is non-incriminating and won't give up where I live. Because I drove around with this, and I'd like to show you what that looks like. Just give me 1 second. Oh, and down here, the 3 lines, that is... no, I'm sorry, the 3 lines is the menu. The little mountain is the gallery. So I'm going to find something cool and probably mute the audio. And by the way, this does record audio, and it's not bad. It's probably not as good as your phone. Definitely not as good as a GoPro, but it's still really, really good. So I'm going to pause the video for a second and find something I can show. Okay. Walmart parking lot. This was just this evening. Rain, cold, wet, blowing. Not very many people out. Super late, like 10 minutes before closing. And this is what they call the screen capture recording. So it's not just the video. It's all the junk. You're going to see video buttons getting pushed. There we go. Look how good that looks. That looks amazing. And you could see the thermal energy coming off the cars. You could tell who's an employee, which car's been sitting there for a while, etc., etc. And it's dark. It's dark. It's wet. It's windy. You can't hardly see anything. It could be, maybe it's because I'm getting older. I'm having a hard time seeing. I roll up the window. These things cannot look through glass. Other than the lens for the camera itself, it can't look through the glass. I don't know why I rolled the window up. Maybe the wind was... I mean, the inside of my car was getting soaked. As you can see, I wanted to turn the temperature data on. And I see the windows rolling back down. And then there's people again. There's somebody running, trying to not get wet. You can see the temperature on the vehicle. On the back end of that vehicle, we've got about a 68, 70 degree temperature. 42 everywhere else. And I'm just playing with the palette. There's the rainbow mode. Kind of looks like the Predator movie mode. So there we go. Let me pause this and find something else where I'm just kind of driving around filming buildings. Okay, this is just driving around. Actually, it looks like I parked. I lost the video. My USB-C cable came unplugged, and when you're recording and it comes unplugged, it loses the video. Okay, you can see I'm looking out at these various structures. I'm close to a campus of some sort, not trying to give off my position too much. You can see the mirror of my car. I am slowly driving around parking lots and stuff, just looking at houses and buildings and so on and so forth. And it's completely dark, windy, rainy, nasty, and there might be a little bit of light from the parking lot, but this is not seeing. That's not showing us that. What we're seeing has nothing to do with lights. I mean, it's all on the electromagnetic spectrum, I think, but it's not visible light that the camera's picking up on. So you can clearly see structures now. Somewhere in here, I start to notice that I start to get to where I can't see anything, and I think it's because moisture was building up. I actually had water droplets on my camera. I'm surprised it was working as good as it was, and yes, of course, you could see the crack in my display. But I want to say it was also a little foggy. I don't know, just a real good test, I felt like, honestly. That was my motivation for going out this evening. And there's little piles of snow here and there. And again, this is really rough. I don't know if everything is the same temperature, there's probably not going to be a whole lot to look at. And then and with everything being covered in the same temperature of rain, and the rain's changing the temperature of everything to being 45 degrees or whatever, that's probably why this doesn't look very good right through here. And then when I flip it back over, and you can see the buildings, and again the hot cars. So all right, so we're at 29 minutes. I feel like that's maybe almost good enough. I'm gonna show one more thing. We're gonna just kind of point around my house real quick, and it's not going to be impressive. I mean, I guess I've already showed you some right there. So I'm gonna get, my house is a mess. We're gonna look at that wall. And then there we are. Okay, now you're probably having a hard time understanding what it is we're looking at. I know I am. Let's just go ahead and bump it down like this. And I see the picture-in-picture windows there. That's what this box is. And we're going to shut that off. I don't even understand the purpose of that. I may eventually understand it, but I just don't right now. So now it's off. We're going to turn the crosshair off. We're going to go ahead and turn the temperature back on. I don't know why it loves to shut itself off. And again, it's at Celsius. So I'm going to change it to Fahrenheit. This is the little stuff that drives me insane. So we go to Celsius, Fahrenheit, and back. Now we're at, that's about right. So you can see the lamp, and you can see my wall. You can see the 2x4s. You can see the cold spots. And you can also, oh boy, I'm not even showing. I wasn't even showing you what I thought I was showing you. So there, yeah, you could see in the wall, you can see the 2x4s. It's basically creating those rectangular shapes on the wall. Because that's just a flat wall. There's nothing over there. But it's picking up on temperature differentials. And it's showing you the temperature differences. And it's like 1.5 degrees. And over here's where's the hot spot? I don't know, there's various electronics, there's some laptops, there's a Nintendo Switch over there heating stuff up. The switch is off, so it's not heating anything up. You can see cords and chargers. You can see where I was sitting on the couch. It's a little warm. So that's that. I think we're done. I think 30 minutes is good enough. I really am liking what I'm seeing so far out of this thing. It just seems like it's so useful. I've wanted one of these for so long, and the fact that you can see so much. You can see up close, you can see far away, you understand what you're looking at. Animals pop out. I want to say that like within 10 minutes of me having the thing, I went to a park. It found a mouse hopping around probably 80 feet away from me on the bank of a river. I didn't even notice it. It noticed it and put a little red box around it. Just so sweet. It'll probably, it'll work on anything. Animals, squirrels, birds, humans, whatever. So, pretty neat stuff. I guess that's all I got. 32 minutes is probably way too long, but we're going to ship it as is.